Hello friends, this is Jochi Veer Bhagat and I'm starting to tell you something about Vedic astrology, some of the various fundamental concepts about it, and the rest you will have to read it from some good books which I initially read decades back. As an example, B.V. Raman. B.V. Raman is pretty good, and K.N. Rao. So these books give you a very strong foundation, theoretical foundation about Vedic astrology. But once you have the theoretical foundation, then it's up to you to achieve the ultimate aim of astrology, that is making right predictions. So the way I do it is, and this is, I started astrology just because of my passion for it, and somehow, some palmist had told me 25, 30 years back that I did not have much long to live, in fact, 2 or 3 years more. So it was no way related to a professional thing. In fact, my profession was and is as an engineer. So this just developed, and this took greater emphasis as I aged in my life, gained maturity, saw more and more cases, and they broadened my horizon, traveled the world. Everywhere I went, I saw more and more palms, more and more charts, heard people going through trouble, and every chart is a learning process. And then after that, basically started doing predictions on my own, and basically I would just tell you one thing, that many people ask me that how do I make a prediction, because that is the bottom line of astrology, palmistry, or any of these occult sciences. You may have the best knowledge, the best theoretical knowledge in this field, but as long as you're not able to make accurate predictions, it brings a bad name to astrology. And that's what's happened right now. Many people contact me from all over the world, this has happened, that has happened, we are not satisfied. And I just tell them, please show me your chart. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but I just try to do the best that I can. I try to help people. So now let me start. Now, Vedic astrology, as I understand, is basically divided into 3 or 4 main sections, main divisions. Mainly 3, but there's a 4th one also, which is a different stream. And Vedic astrology is also karma based. I'm going through my notes also because, from time to time I have to consult them. It's karma based. That means that as you do, so shall happen to you. Very simple. If you do bad karma, if you hurt the people knowingly, then good will not happen to you. You have the power to make your chart or break your chart, make your life or break your life. So our lives are a combination of our karmas of the past janma, of this birth, and that determines how our life in the future is going to be. So that is what Vedic astrology is based on, and you should always remember that. Now, there is a subtle link between astrology and palmistry that I have discussed in some of my blogs on my website, but that we'll come to that much later. So right now, the 4 divisional areas, as you may call them in Vedic astrology, are the Varg system. Like in Vedic astrology, the chart can be divided up to the 1/60th part of it it is so, you can drill down so deep. For example, the Navamsa chart, or the 1/9 chart, is related to your matrimonial affairs. But I have a caveat here. First of all, you have to analyze the Lagna chart very carefully, because if you don't analyze the Lagna chart carefully and proceed and drill down, then you're making a great error. Many people do this. They ignore the Lagna chart, drill deep down, give the remedies there, but the problems in the Lagna chart remain. Okay, so I'll keep on providing some tips based on my experience also. So this is number one, the Varg system. The second is the Dasha system. The Dasha system is basically the ruling planets, which are the planets that are whose periods are we passing through, like we may be going through Saturn Mahadasha or Moon Mahadasha, or the whole cycle continues. So basically the dasha keeps on changing throughout our lives. It's never static, it keeps on changing. The third is the gochar, or the transit of planets. Now planets also keep on transiting through various houses, and they produce different results. So, and sometimes this transit can be for a long time, and sometimes it can be very short. For example, the transit of Saturn is 2.5 years, while that of planets such as Sun or Ketu is shorter. And the last aspect is a little removed from this. It is the Prashna Kundali system. That is, the analysis is done based on the time when the person asks the question. For example, today somebody sent me an email about NSE, how the National Stock Exchange or the Bombay Stock Exchange would do. I haven't replied to him, but I would tell him that, hey, listen, I can analyze your chart and directly tell you what impact it'll have on you in terms of your business. Or I can tell you about the NSE, BSE and all that based on, this Prashna Kundali system, and that depends on the time you ask me this question. Now, let me tell you right away that when somebody asks me a question, basically there are certain criterias or certain areas from which I gather the information, knowingly or unknowingly, because it is my duty to gather as much information as I can and predict right. So the first thing is, when somebody comes to meet me, or these days via a video conference, or maybe even a phone talk, there are two things here. One is, sometimes the vibration of that person, it tells me a lot. I mean, it gives me a lot of information, and I get a sort of a bridge vibration with that person, and I know what is his problem, what he's going to tell me, etc. The second is the time when he called. The third is, I see the chart, his natal chart, using Vedic astrology. Sometimes I may use Western astrology also, but rarely. The fourth is, I'll see his palm. That is very important. The palm tells the status of your life as of today based on your karmas, to me. And the fifth is all these inputs, they they this is my microprocessor. So as the information is being fed into this, it is being processed, at the back of my mind. I may be talking to you, but the information is being processed, and then it gives me some indication as to what is going to happen. And sometimes I may not get all these parameters, but like somebody, I may not ask for somebody's palm, or I may not see his chart, or I may not know, like there may be an email, so I may not know, like I may not be directly talking to him. Basically it'll be an email in that inbox, so I'll see the time when the email came to me and the query. And there are various other things like this that are noticed, but these are the 4 major things, and based on that the predictions are made. So that's it for now on this aspect. And now let me proceed a little further. There are 12 rasis in Vedic astrology and or zodiac signs, and they are Aries, ruled by Mars; Taurus by Venus; Gemini by Mercury; Cancer by Moon; Leo Sun; Virgo Mercury; Libra Venus; Scorpio Mars; Sagittarius Jupiter; Capricorn Saturn; Aquarius Saturn; Pisces Jupiter. So basically these are the 12 rasis of the zodiac signs, and this is in their natural order. Then we come to another very important issue which I could touch today. These rasis or zodiac signs are basically divided into 4 major categories. And they are called, this is all theoretical stuff. As I said, I've read this and refreshed this many a times, but so basically the first triangle or the first group has the fire signs. They are Aries, Leo, Saggy. The second has Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the earth signs. The third is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air signs, and the fourth is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or the water signs. These are the emotional people. These are the people most probably you'll find as astrologers. They have a strong, their extrasensory perception is very high. So moving on, let me see what else I can cover in this capsule. One thing I would like to tell you apart from this is that please remember, learning astrology or palmistry from the good books that I have recommended to you is the first task. You have to read these books over and over again, and you don't need to by heart these things. You can always have them as ready reference, because see, this is not a quiz competition. Nobody is going to ask you, please tell me which are the fire signs. See, after some experience you'll know it, but even if you don't know it, you can always refer back to them. So please be forewarned that it basically, the intent is to make a right prediction, and for that, yes, all this information should be available to you for reference, but what actually matters is years and years of experience and life experiences, immersion into religion to a certain extent. I'm not saying give everything up, become a sannyasi, or a brahmachari, but spirituality, religion is important because it places Vedic astrology or astrology, palmistry in its right place. It tells you, you know, I mean, that, see, inevitably everybody is going to pass away. If I'm born or if you are born, we're going to leave this planet. So there is no use to be obsessed over our own chart. I agree that when we first learn astrology or palmistry, the first chart or palm we want to study is ours. And that is right, we should. And we should be comfortable with it. But if you are noticing that you are keeping on studying your chart again and again and again, and badgering it or getting obsessed with it, then please, astrology or palmistry is not for you. For this, you have to rise above your chart. You have to accept your chart, whatever it says. It will say many bad things, it will say many good things also, but you have to rise above it because you have to help people. You have to make predictions for them, for their good, and in doing that is your good. And believe me, good will happen to you if you genuinely help people. Please genuinely help them. Don't be self-obsessed about your own chart or palm. And if you feel that you are a bit thin-skinned, if some astrologer has told you something and you've taken it to heart, and you have, to the extent of, got psychologically damaged by it, then I must tell you that you need to keep away from this, because this is not for you. You need to very carefully, first of all, by yoga, meditation, build your emotional defenses, and then maybe, get into it. These days, there is another warning that I give to everybody. Nowadays, everybody and anybody is an astrologer, because we have such powerful softwares. When I started, it used to take us hours to draw a chart. We used to open the book. It used to be a laborious process. By hand, we used to draw the chart. We used to see the degrees, which planet is placed where, and we understood the fundamentals, and then we drew the chart, the Lagna chart, and it was based, maximum we drew the Lagna or the Namamsa chart. During those times when the most accurate predictions were made by astrologers, that is around 100 years back and till about 50 years back. Even now there are some astrologers who are excellent. They don't go into the 160th chart, how can you humanly go into the 160th chart? It will take you like 50 days. But these days, with the help of powerful softwares, you have, at the snap of a finger, you have so much information available on your laptop that you get confused. But please do not forget the basic. The basic is your Lagna chart. Please keep astrology simple, because by that only you can make a correct assessment of it, and then it leads to correct predictions and helps people. If you make it a research project, by all means do it, but don't use it on other people to make predictions, because you'll get entangled in it. It is very confusing. It can be very confusing, for the untrained person. It can be very confusing. There is so much information thrown at you that I've talked to some people and they are so full of this theoretical stuff, and they discuss with me, and sometimes during the discussion they themselves get entangled in what they are saying, and they're very bright people. Some of them are engineers from top colleges, doctors, scientists, and they want to discuss with me, but I tell them, hold on, keep it simple. What is the need to go there? Let's first focus on the Lagna chart and correct it. Then if you want, we can dig down deep. These days the softwares are there. And my last suggestion to you, please do not believe in these auto-generated reports. They are very, very dangerous. They are not accurate. You need an astrologer, a human mind, to decipher the chart, to understand, to distinguish between what is needed for your prediction and what is not needed. There is a lot of information that is not needed. It looks fancy on a chart, but it's not needed for your predictions. So please, whatever you do, don't rely on reports that are generated by a machine and gives you, your whole life analysis. That is very general in nature and sometimes can be highly inaccurate. Always depend on a good human astrologer. So that is it for now. Next time I plan to discuss the planets and the houses, which are very, very critical. What each planet means and what each house means. Thank you. Hari Om.